Welcome to In the Parlor with Al. Today, Al welcomes Kenneth Terry. Kenneth was born and raised in the Crescent City and has been delighting audiences around the world for many years with his performances of New Orleans music. Kenneth has performed on trumpet with the Junior Olympia, New Birth, Rebirth, and Treme brass bands, to name a few. Join us as we welcome Kenneth Terry to the Parlor.
What got you started in the music business, Mr. Terry? Who and what?
I started in the music industry, it had to be third, fourth grade. I had a chance to play Louis Armstrong in the school play, and at that time I didn't know who Louis Armstrong was. So I was able to perform that at the theater. So it was a nice experience. So after that, I just told my mom, I said, I just want to play the horn. So after maybe another year later, a friend of mine passed away, and they had the Olympia brass band. They played the funeral. So I seen the guys playing the trumpets. So I said, Mom, I want to play just like him. His name was Petit. So then I started, trying to play the horn myself. I was teaching myself, just blowing just nothing but air. Couldn't even get the notes out. So then I wound up having a chance to meet Milton Baptiste, and he took me under his wing, and I started learning how to play the horn through him.
Milton Baptiste, another icon going.
Another icon going.
He was Harold Baptiste's brother, right? Was he?
I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, I think they were
I'm
related.
not quite sure, but I know he was a good friend. He was a good mentor. He not only just me, but he took. We actually created a whole band together. We was the first Junior Olympia brass band that they had under Dejon leadership. And before we can do anything, go any gigs, we had to go by Harold Duke Dejon house and show him that we knew the song. So the first song that we learned was Down by the Riverside.
The cornet or the trumpet, which one is your favorite?
Actually, it's a kind of funny story. Actually, the trumpet is better for me, but I play both the cornet and the trumpet. But like I say, like when I did the Louis Armstrong part in the school play, I had a cornet that they gave me. It was all banged up. The bell was like all smashed in. It was like, it had to be like over 100 years old. That's the way it looked to me. Mm-hmm. So, but I made it through. I had to keep listening to the song. I had to pantomize at that time because I didn't really understand the instrument. So through time and through school, I learned how to perform on the horns.
Okay. So, but at this point in your life, you're stuck on the trumpet.
Well, I play both.
Okay.
I still play both. Depends on what job I'm doing right now.
So, on the street, you're a street musician as well.
Yes.
On the street, which one sounds best to you?
On the street, I mainly play the trumpet. Okay. But like when I was working in Preservation Hall, I was playing mainly cornet because I was looking at the older guys like Buddy Boulder, King Oliver and all them. Most of them was on cornets.
Bunk Johnson.
So, Bunk Johnson and all them, right. So I was playing the cornet, trying to create that same feel. So that's what I was doing.
So your repertoire consists primarily of what kind of music?
I do a little bit of everything.
Because you mentioned some of the old timers.
Yeah.
And some of the old timers who started out on marching music.
Yes, but well, through me growing up playing, learning how to play New Orleans jazz music, there was a lot of marches. You know what I'm saying? We was playing like a lot of marches, you know, Bugle Boy March, you know, Tiger Rag March, you know, all those songs was like marches, so we had to learn all that first. And then we can be able to play, you know, all the other different things that we do now.
So marching music evolved into what we call today buck jump music.
Right. Well, the buck jump music hasn't changed because I'm strictly was brought up on playing, you know, Paul Baldwin, Second Line, Bourbon Street Parade, Fidgety Feet, you know, to songs like that. Now then, years later, when I got into we was hearing other cats like Rebirth Brass Band, you know, Pinstripe Brass Band. We was hearing them playing like different other stuff. What would you call? We call it buck jumping music now. You know what I'm saying? But most of that was like basically like pop songs off the radio.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But see, I got to keep going back to Milton because Milton did not want us to play none of that.
Really?
No, we couldn't play none of that. There wasn't no do what you want and all that stuff back there. We had to learn the traditional music first. Then after the traditional music, then you could be able to go on and play all that other crap. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we was taught. You know, I got to be honest with you as I can. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want us to do that.
Makes sense.
It wasn't no tuba fats. We couldn't even play that. Okay. It got down to a point. One year, I think it was like 82, probably 1982 or something like that. Petit seen us in the French quarters. We wasn't even allowed to go and play hustle on the street. The guy came in his van, told everybody get in the van, took all the instruments back, and that was it.
So Harold was a disciplinarian.
Yeah, we were strict.
Do you think that made you a better person?
It did.
It made you a bit more disciplined?
Because the whole lesson was like he was telling us as kids is like don't give this music away for free, and that's basically what we was doing on the hustling on the street because we just playing song after song after song. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you might make a few bucks, sometimes you might not. So you just wasting your time. You just giving the music away, you know. But we was enjoying ourselves. But I don't think he liked it.
No, I understand that. But would you say when you're playing on the streets, and even the days when you fail to earn any money or generate any revenue, you're still practicing and you're keeping your chops together.
Right. Well, that's what we was looking at it as like we was practicing, like rehearsing. So for the next week when we go by his house, that everybody be on the same page and we'll know the song. But I don't think he was taking it that way. He was like, no, you know, like Well, you know, stick to what I'm teaching you. So you know, I think all of us grew up in you know, we grew up to learn that, you know. But now, you know, things change. You know, we got older.
Okay. We
got older, so people like, man, look, I'm not worried about him. I'm gonna make me some money. You know what I'm saying? So right now, you know, the streets save a lot of musicians. To be honest with you, you know, because some of them don't get a chance to go out of town and go play. You know, Europe, even throughout the United States. Some of them just like local street performers. You gotta work hard for what you want. So that's what we had to do. See, like, work hard. Yeah, just like to win them games. Oh man, he had a little stick called the equalizer. Yeah,
that sounds like a paddle.
Yeah, it's a paddle, all right.
Okay,
more like a 2x4 to me. Yeah, see, man. Well, we had the band. You know, me and a couple other guys. We'd be out there practicing, and you know. Big duck here, wrong note. Come here, boo. Bend over, boo.
Really?
Pop. Get that note right. Yeah. Yeah, his son was in the band. His son, Taju Smith.
Taju.
Taju was in the band. That was our bass drummer. We had Taju and Tanny. We had two bass drummers. Kerry Hunter was the snare drummer.
Wow.
Yeah, Big Duck used to come get us and make us go to practice. Come, man, look, y'all get in that van. I'm sending that man over. We was to practice at Huntersfield. Then after a while, we started going by Milton Baptiste's house. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we started, man.
Yeah, Milton and Jerome Smith, they all were good friends.
Yeah, there was all. Harry used to come over there. Harry used to sneak up on us.
Really?
Come sneak up on us. Then after a while, Mr. Wendell Eugene, he used to come through there, show the trombone players their parts on the song. So it was a good thing. It was, you know. Well, the name of our band was the Buckingham Brass Band.
Because they also paraded.
We was a part of Tambourine and Fanning. Yeah. Buckingham, that was it. The Buckingham Brass Band. So that's what we started as. You know, and after time, we left Buckingham. We became the Junior Olympia. We added a couple of other guys, and after Junior Olympia, I started in Newburgh.
Okay.
You know, after
so
Newburgh,
you started with Newburgh.
Yeah, I started Newburgh. Okay. Me and Kerwin James.
Okay.
Yeah, me and Kerwin James. Because Kerwin came from up the street, from where we had it on with the All-Star Brass Band, with James Andrews and all them. So all them was getting it, you know, kids is kids, whatever. Everybody got different opinions on everything. So they said, man, I ain't worried about no 12. I ain't worried about this. But we ain't worried about no Milton and all that. We gonna, man, let's call ourselves the Newburgh. Because we had a gig, we had the Rebirth at that time, they had like 2 or 3 gigs that they couldn't make because they was already busy. So we said, man, what we gonna give call ourselves? We said Newburgh.
Rebirth Newburgh.
Rebirth Newburgh. Yeah, you know, the guy Eric Sellers, one of the old Rebirth snare drummers, that's who gave us, you know, told us to come up with that name, so that's what we did. So we started the band. I was running the band for years. And then I wound up leaving Newburgh to go play with the Rebirth. Okay. You know, after Kermit left.
Kermit left.
Yeah, so I wound up going to play with them. And after, you know, I was playing with them, with the Rebirth, Newburgh, Treme, Pinstripe. I was playing with all them different bands at one time. The Storyville Snuffers, I mean, I was with all of them at one time. My mom would say, boy, when you going to go home and get some rest? I said, Ma, I can't rest.
Got to keep playing the
dance. Got to keep going playing. You know what I'm saying? Because at that time, the music business was pretty good. Mm-hmm. Even though now we got a pandemic, everything is slowed up now. So, you know.
Yeah. But so, you can play virtually sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'd rather do it in front of the crowd. I like the crowd.
So if you had a chance to play with anyone in the world, any musician in the world, who would you choose?
Oh, that's a hard question, D. I don't know. I like everybody's, you know. You know, I know me and Whitney did a couple of things together.
Okay.
So I think it'd be Whitney. So we get back together and do our thing. I play with Delphio with the jazz orchestra.
Jazz orchestra.
Yeah, I played with them for a couple of months. Also, me and Delphio been on the road a couple of times by ourselves, just me and him. So that was a real good experience. You know, they nice people.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and that whole nice family, man. And it's sad that we lost his father. But.
Right. I actually played the funeral. I played for his mother and his father.
And his father, yeah.
So Me and Winton was on the side. So he said, man, we back together again. It's a strange story about that. When well, Winton, Winton, I don't know if y'all know, Winton played with the Pinstripe Brass Band.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, he has to play with the Pinstripe Brass Band a couple of times. And what happened was, like, man, I was with Treme when Treme first started. We had a trip up there to New York. But I said, man, we gotta go. We got about Winton. That's when he was doing the thing with Harry Connick and all that other stuff. When Winton come out with his brass band CD. So we seen Winton on the street coming out the studio. So we said, man, who that is? Winton. I said, man, I ain't worried about no daggone Winton. Who is Winton? Then I said, oh, that is. I said, you used to play with the Pinstripe with me. So then, I ain't know he was that up there.
Lord, yeah.
Yeah, I ain't know he was that large, but I'm like, all right, come on, Winton, let's go. We're gonna go at it.
Yeah, he's doing a great job in New York.
Yeah, he's doing a real good job.
Our culture out front as well.
Right, right after Katrina, I wound up connecting back with Winton. Because he said, man, look, I need a horn. Okay, bro, no problem. I got you. No problem. Call this number right here, tell Tim your information. That's what I did. 2 days later, I had a horn. That's how I started playing music back in Houston after Katrina. Yeah, because I had lost everything here.
That's right, you lost everything.
Yeah, we lost everything here. Until, thank the Lord for Music Cast and everything when he came back to try to replace some of the stuff. But, I had to wait. But I needed something else out. Say, man, I gotta do something. I'm not sitting in no hotel, in no shelter all day. I gotta go do something.
I'm gonna put on my long black robe down by the riverside. Right over there by the riverside. What? Down by the riverside. I'm gonna put on my long black robe down by the riverside. Ain't gonna study one no more. I ain't gonna study one no more. Ain't gonna study one no more. Yeah, study one no more. Yeah, study one no more. Ain't gonna study one no more. It's down by the riverside.
In Houston, Texas, post-Katrina, what's going on with Kenneth Terry?
Post-Katrina.
In Houston, Texas.
In Houston, Texas, yeah, we was at St. Pete's Top and Grill. We was performing there, which was nice that the mayor actually asked the people to let the New Orleans musicians be able to perform, which was good. And also we used to play at a place called the Volcano. So that was nice too.
That was a hot club, the Volcano.
Yeah. Yeah, you must have been there before.
No, that was.
Yeah, that's what they call under the volcano. The people treated us nice, you know what I'm saying? Everybody, that was a way for us to be able to stay focused on our music. And actually, as of today, they still have some New Orleans musicians that's still living out there in Houston, that's still performing at some of those same venues.
That is great.
So yeah, so it was nice for us, we enjoyed it. But I'm a New Orleans man. I gotta come home.
There's no gumbo like this gumbo.
No gumbo like this gumbo. Even like when I went to Atlanta. I moved to Atlanta for like 6-7 months. I was playing with a band up there, and I was like the only horn player, that keyboards and drums and all that guitar, and I'm listening to the dude like, man, this ain't getting it. This ain't getting it for me, dude. I know that he was playing. He was doing more R&B stuff and everything, I was like, I was learning the music and all that. There wasn't no problem with that. But like, me and this guy, we go on a gig. This guy got a CD player, dude, and just hit play. And he's singing with the thing. I said, what I'm supposed to do? I'm just standing on stage like,
Getting paid.
I'm like, I'm just standing on the stage, saying like, that was on a New Year's Eve. Matter of fact, we opened up for the Temptation, well, the New Temptation. Because most of the older guys passed away.
Transition.
Yeah, the New Temptation. I'm like, man, dude, you got a whole, whole big old famous group up here. You got a CD player. So I'm like, pantomiming right there. I'm like, all right, I can do that too.
But you did get paid, right?
Yeah.
Bottom line.
Well, no, see, sometimes it's not always about the money with me.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes a lot of functions that I do in the city, like especially like a lot of funerals and everything, because we do have a lot of funerals. Sometimes I go play for free, because they're friends. They're friends of friends of family, you know what I'm saying?
You gotta give back something.
Yeah, I give something back. That's why some of the kids I teach, when I was teaching, hey man, look, your mom ain't got the money to pay me, don't worry about it. Come back next week. You know what I'm saying? I'll take care of you that, y'all take care of me on the back end.
Right.
Don't worry about it, you know what I'm saying? So you have to give back. Without giving back, we don't have nothing.
Exactly, and that's the mark of a good man. Brother Terry, always a pleasure.
Thank you.
Hope to see you again at the Candlelight
Oh man.
one day.
That was a fun place, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun place, man. We had plenty of good times in the Candlelight.
Yeah, I miss the Candlelight.
$2 Miller High Life.
And Budweiser.
Well, I don't know about Budweiser. I had a High Life. You go with Benny Jones, you're gonna drink a High Life.
That's right, with Benny Jones drinking the
And
Uncle Lionel.
Uncle Lionel.
Lionel.
You gonna swirl it around before you drink it. And don't ever hang out with Benny Jones at nighttime, because Benny Jones gonna keep you in the club till the bar close.
That's true.
That's true. And he'd never go to the restroom.
Seal Cozy Corner.
That's Benny's cozy corner.
Oh, bless you, baby. Happy birthday to you. Oh, you live 100 years. You drink 1,000 beers. Happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Okay, and I want to thank you guys again for spending some of your quality time with us with a conversation from the Parlor with Al. But before we leave, we would like to introduce you to some of jazz memorabilia that most folk have never had a chance to see. And oftentimes, we're not being confrontational, but we'd just like to debunk some myths and add another layer of written, documented history to the conversation. So if you kind of follow me over my right shoulder to my left shoulder, what we see here is Louis Armstrong's draft card from World War I. What's important about this draft card? It tells everybody in its condensed form so much about Louis Armstrong that has never been told. A, he was born in Black Storyville, and that's where he lived with his mama, 1233 Petit Street. He was born on the 4th of July, 1900. Now this is on the draft card. This is an official document. And he was a musician working for Peter Lala, 1500 Conti Street, which was the heart of Storyville, and signed by his mom, Mary Armstrong. The second image of a fellow who I have not heard anyone give his proper credit. So we're depending on this one. This is, of course, is Peter Davis, who everyone said Peter Davis taught Louis to play the horn. I'm not here to question that. We're only here to shed more historical information with you. If you look to Louis Armstrong's left, the gentleman with the white shirt and dark tie, Captain Joseph Jones, a musician in 1898, the Spanish-American War, who along with his wife, Manuela Duplessis, founded the Waifs Home and taught Louis to play the bugle and the cornet, and of course he learned to play the trumpet on his own. And last but not least, Jazz Fest in New Orleans began in 1949, but it would take the celebration of the bicentennial anniversary of the founding of the city in 1968 before Louis Armstrong would play in his first and only Jazz Fest. but a hell of a lineup. Lewis and Duke, Dave Brubeck, Pete Fountain, Ramsey Lewis, Big Joe, I'm going to Chicago, Williams rather. Hell of a lineup, but Louis Armstrong's only Jazz Fest participation out of 19 years of Jazz Fest in the city. Little history for you, pass it on to your friends. Ask them just kind of Google, see what they can find. If not, come down and see us at Treme's Petit Jazz Museum and we'll give you some more. Thanks a million. Signing off, this is Conversation Parlor with Al. It's been my pleasure.
I told my mama and my dad. I told my mama and my dad. Well, now, told my mama and my dad. Oh, now say my soul from sin and shame. He woke me up this morning. Well, he woke me up this morning. Woke me up this morning. Oh, now say my soul from sin and shame.